Having breakfast, lunch, or dinner together is a common habit in the family, but has a major influence in developing bonds between family members. This habit affects a child's mental, emotional, academic, and social ability in positive ways.
Sharing stories about daily experiences or exchanging thoughts can also strengthen their relationship between parents and children. This would make children more comfortable around their parents as well.
Last but not least, showing love every day. You don't need to give gifts to each other every day because small gestures such as hugging, saying I love you, or giving your full attention during a conversation will go a much further way.
I know it's a very tough moment and very challenging situation. I would like to ask Alia and Kai, were your children born in the digital age?
Obviously, yes.
Yes, Kai is...
because we were already born in the transitional age. So imagine our kids,
completely.
Completely submerged in the digital age. Now, children born in the digital age are immersed in technology, but let's learn a little bit more about parenting in the digital age and how it affects a child's development with psychologist Reti Oktania. Hello, Reti.
Ah, there she is.
Hi.
Hi.
Shafira,
Hi. See you again.
Good to see you again. So this time we're talking.
Good to see you again too.
Yeah, this time we're talking about kids in the digital age. Now, what we've mentioned before is we grew up in the transitional phase, right? So our parents raised us not as digitally immersed as our children right now. So at what age should children be introduced to gadgets really?
Okay, let's start from WHO and UNICEF recommendations on this. So the UN recommends that the children under 1 year old should not be given screen time.
Yep.
And the children 1 to 2 years old can be given screen time less than an hour a day. For 3 to 4 years, it's 1 hour-ish a day. And 5 to 12 years old is 2 hours a day. But the recommendation was made before the pandemic on 2019.
Oh, good to know.
Now, this is problematic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to note, right? Because it is problematic because during the pandemic, we switch our activities from we do everything outside the house. Now we have to manage everything at home.
Yes.
Usually our children get exposed with outside world at school, at the daycare, they go to playgrounds, meet their friends, go to play dates. Now they have to stay at home
Yes.
while the life are still running.
Yep.
We still have to do our work, right? As parents, we have to do the chores. So as you mentioned earlier, that we often resort and pacify our children with gadgets to fulfill our duty, basically, during the pandemic. So the amendments are made during the pandemics, not legally yet by the UN, but now they start to see other attributes
All right.
to decide what's best about the screen time.
Well, this is very interesting because it is very much linked to how parents manage at home, especially during the pandemic. But now, as we step out of the pandemic, still this, legacy of being on screen, in front of the screen too long, it still gets carried on.
Yeah.
So, what is the worst thing that would happen? Because I've seen my kids, they got quite knowledgeable because of this. It depends really on what type of content that they see on the online content itself. So what is the worst thing that would happen out of this phenomenon?
Okay, first, addiction behavior, because it is highly addictive. You don't need to do anything and yet you get entertained.
Yeah.
By that, your time is limited. Once your time is allocated fully on online, then you don't have any more time to do something else. While we know that the needs for children is not only that, they need also motoric stimulations. They need also social stimulations. They need to find their positions of themselves in the society, and that cannot be fulfilled by just staying online. Right? So, and these addictions has led the children they don't have any more time slot for other stuff that are also important for them.
Yes.
All right.
And secondly, the literature also say that there's a link, there's a relationship between the usage of internet, the excessive usage of internet on children with their self-esteem. Because we develop self-concept and self-esteem through our interaction with our surroundings, with the society. If we get feedback, so I do something good and we get positive feedback, then I have a better self-esteem. Or if the feedback is negative, that means I did something wrong. We know that because we do the interaction. But because of the excessive usage of internet or online, just to watch or to play games, they don't have opportunity to develop that interactions. That therefore there's a link between the usage of the internet excessively with the self-esteem of children.
All right. So basically, the social media and technology and gadget overexposing is not affected to children as well, but us as a human, basically as an adult, we tend to be very depressed if we get too much access to digital world and to access social media and everything. But if we talk specifically in children, in a child, sometimes they have this kind of behavior called tantrum, and this causes parents become a panic. They don't know what to do, so they just gave the child a gadget, just to calm down the child. So what if the case or the scenario is like that, exhibits a tantrum? Should the parent allow them to watch videos or extend the screen time, or how?
Okay, the basic thing we need to understand here is children need to learn how to regulate their emotions by themselves. This is a long-term skill they have to master.
That's good. Yeah.
So children should not escape from their feelings. They should not find distraction before understanding what happened inside them. I think that's not only for children, for us too, right?
Yes.
So it took a longer road. It will take a longer road, of course, but it is a bigger win long term. So when the children are feeling sad or feeling mad, the first thing you can do is sit with them and help them understand what's happened inside them. Name it, validate it, accompany them with compassion. Oh, I know you're feeling sad because you still want to play in the playground, but we need to go home. I know you still want to go home, but sorry, the time's up. We need to go home. I know you're sad. Then provide them with understanding. Oh, that's what happened inside me. I feel sad because I still want to play, but I still need to go home, right? So they understand what happened. And provide them with support. What can I do to help you to make you feel better right now? Do you need a hug? Do you need a drink? Do you want to come to the car and feel the air conditioner? It may take longer for you to make the kids calm down. But it's a bigger win long term, as I say, because we cannot pacify them with gadget all the time. They need to master the skill independently.
That's nice.
That is
wow.
It is.
Nice.
Because imagine us as adults, we're not always equipped to do the same. We don't throw the tantrums anymore, but we feel feelings that we have no idea what it is, and
Probably we don't act a tantrum outside, but inside.
Inside, and we do
Adults.
But we also still do toxic things to distract ourselves from tantrums.
Wow.
Maybe because our parents did not do that with us, so we're never used to it. So it's very interesting. I think the logic of being to deal with your feelings rationally is not something that culturally we've been taught a lot. And I think it's a great start to implement that with our kids. It takes a lot of patience, though. A lot of patience.
Sure. Indeed. And the most important thing is to do it with ourselves. When we master it with ourselves, then we can teach it to our children.
But if you look at the old days, though, Reti, as parents, our parents, for example, if they say you cannot do that, and then what they would tell us to do is just deal with it without giving any solutions. But nowadays, I don't think you can do that with your children because they're more critical. You want to be more inclusive to your child. You want to validate your child's feelings and all that. So apart from social media, apart from screen time, we could have done it with, okay, here's a toy for you, right? It's the same thing. It's the same distraction, right?
Or
Yes.
a pacifier to a baby.
Yes.
Or a pacifier for a baby, for
Yes.
example.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
indeed.
Yeah, so all these are, would it give the same harmful effects? Just like, you know, as simple as instantly giving your child extra screen time because they're tantrum?
That's a good question. I guess the concept is similar, but now the screen time, because it gives us more stimulation than just the toys. Just imagine that you give your children a squishy. They can put it's one of the
Motoric
emission
skills or
regulation
something.
techniques.
Yeah.
They're still
Yeah.
yes, they're still using right now.
Yeah.
But with that toy, your children only stimulated one aspect, their motoric.
Oh, yes.
So they can focus on that.
And then calm,
And that can help them to
reduce
calm
the
down and
emotions.
regulate themselves.
Alright.
Exactly.
Oh,
But with screen times, it's different kind of stimulations. You hear voices,
Yeah.
you see the lights
Yeah,
and the
everything.
speed of information and the
Wow.
graphics and everything.
Yes.
It overstimulates you.
Yes. Oh
And
my
so
God.
it's different.
So true.
The concept is similar, but it's different on
Different effects, yeah.
magnitude, you know? Yes.
Interesting.
Wow, this is so nice. So basically, there's a lot of, well, there are two aspects from technology, digital world, screen time and everything. What does too much screen times do to child's behavior? Can it affect their social interactions or even mental health?
Okay, it may vary from person to person, but we can understand easily, like if you are given 1 hour of screen time, you have at least 1 hour of your day interact with others or doing things outside of your online world, you know, to keep yourself balanced and to keep your children stimulated in all aspects of her intelligence or their intelligence.
Right.
Because we may say that, oh, I give education games,
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that to the children, right? But they also need to understand other than that. They need to understand plants and about airs. They need to say sorry and thank you and excuse me to others, which they cannot find it online. So the rule of thumb is 1 hour of gadgets, 1 hour of interactions, 2 hours of gadget, then you have 2 hours of interactions. That's the easy way
Fair
to put
enough.
Do you know what's the tricky part about the 21st century in 2022 and 2023 is
What's
that
that?
kids interact online as well.
Yeah, they get
Yes.
approvals,
So that's the
they get
confusing part.
likes
They're
online.
playing together.
Yes.
We encourage them to socially interact physically, which was not possible within the last couple of years. So they've gotten so used to interact with each other via all these, not social media necessarily, but just messaging apps. You know, they play together via
Yes.
messaging apps and have 2 gadgets on, one for the phone call and one for the game that they play together. So we clearly need to redefine and reassess the way parenting needs to be done, because I don't think this particular generation is going to heal very quickly from what happened in the last 2 to 3 years. So what's your take on this?
Okay. When children are connecting with others using social media or using internet, it's a positive side
Yeah.
of the internet usage. You know? So they can develop their social skills within their limitations during the pandemic, and they use it online. I think that's good. That's good. And that thing is one thing that the amendments are made related to the screen time limit that I mentioned earlier. So when children are online to interact with others, they are not counted as screen time.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
That's a breakthrough definition. I love that. Now I can tell my my
It's still
8-year-old
screen time.
it's okay unless as long as you are socially interacting with your friends. Okay, continue please.
Yes. But
Yeah, I
But
was just
then,
gonna, I
we
was just gonna
also-
mention
yeah,
as well that,
yeah.
you know, nowadays classes, courses, like drawing classes,
online.
it's done online.
Online.
Yeah. That course.
Everything. Languages.
Okay, so it's not
Yes,
it's not
everything
categorized
online.
as screen.
Even sports and exercise. Sports and exercise online.
yes,
Yeah.
we can do the Zumba online now.
I know.
right? So, yeah, so it's not counted as screen time.
Okay.
As long as we supervise what is the quality of interaction they made online with their friends.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if they just like access or browse something that is not appropriate, then we have to take action about that. But as long as they talk with their friends and learn how to empathize with others, asking how their friends doing, I think that's
Yeah.
good, right?
Well, I have a question though, because I have a teenage at home, and you know it's different when you handle teenage in this digital age. What do you think about anxiety that now haunting some teenagers because they don't get as much likes as their friends when they post something on social media? And what about them who are just so scared of posting something because of probably I'm afraid that nobody would like my post. What do you think of that?
Yes. Okay, I think that's related to the characteristic of teenagers. Because teenagers are unique. Their cognitive ability are no longer as concrete as children, but not yet abstract as the adults. So they're in the transition period, and there are so many bias in their cognitive ability, how they think. One of it is attention bias. It's just like back in old days, it was like I don't want to wear this kind of clothes. People will see me at school. I don't like these haircuts because people will judge me. Stuff like that. It's similar, just now it's online. I don't want to post because people will not like my post. I don't want to show that I have a new haircut online because then people will judge me. That happened to my kids too.
Yeah.
But it's more into their teenagers' characteristic rather than the online usage.
All right.
But also other than that, we need to develop digital skills for kids. For example, digital identity.
Yeah.
Who they want to perform online. Is it their true self or just a persona?
Absolutely. We need
Right?
that.
Yeah.
And then, and then digital literacy. Whatever information they found online, and how to check and cross-check whether that information is valid
Yeah.
or no.
Okay.
Because we need that now, right? And then another thing is digital safety. How to prevent cyberbullying, how to behave online, how not to bully others online, what to do when you get bullied. And then digital security, to understand scams. Especially when kids nowadays are playing games together, right? With a lot of tokens and everything. It's prone to scams, so they need to know digital security. And also digital emotional intelligence, what
Wow.
to do with
There
it.
is.
There's a
Such
terms of that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
USQ and now
And,
digital
yeah.
emotional intelligence.
Okay, so
That was
So,
a
I guess-
G20 priority, digital wellness.
so there's a long list to
Yes.
go and to do throughout this digital eras, but basically start from the very early age. So the parents have a fully responsible how to to give the right education to the children since they were very young. Like Kai's daughter, she's very young, almost 1 year old, and the teenagers as well, and us as a adult as well. We have to very pay attention to the using of digital technology. So, what are your best recommendations on how parents prevent the dangers of the internet, especially for children?
Okay. First, every family have their own values on how to manage their digital usage within the family.
Yeah.
Because we juggle things differently.
Yeah.
So what worked for me might not be working for you, and that's okay. Always think that what is age appropriate and what is reasonable for my family. And always open the discussion with your children on how much screen time they need outside of the thing they need to interact with others and school related. That means the screen time definition is things you do online only for leisure.
Okay.
Playing games or watching. Make a discussion with them. Open with a discussion. Do you think 2 hours is enough for you? We can do it in the afternoon, maybe. Do you think it's enough? It's better to let it loose a bit. For example, make it into 3 hours and stick to it. Rather than keep it into 2 hours but never did it, never make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good tip.
So my recommendation is
Yeah.
always think about what is age appropriate for my children, what is the need of my family,
Yeah.
and let's open the discussion. For the younger ones, the babies, the toddlers, we have to also collaborate with other support system.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Huh.
Important thing.
Yeah.
No screen time.
Yes, there is a reason.
I don't think no screen time is reasonable nowadays, right?
No, I think, you know, my baby is turning 1 and she has she's only started seeing small shows. Not even, she's never even seen our tab.
I thought she watches news, Sky.
Oh, yeah.
Today.
Is TV considered screen time? Now that's a different question, right? Is TV considered screen time? Because, yeah.
It depends.
okay.
If she's watching her mommy online, then it's not because she's meeting her mommy.
Because I heard that you know, below 1 years old should be 0 screen time at all, except for
Yes.
FaceTime, like when you FaceTime video call with your parents, because it's a real interaction. And it's very interesting because weird thing is my baby, even though she likes to just look at tabs because we look at tabs because she sees that, she doesn't actually like looking at videos.
understand, yeah.
She just likes to play with it, you know.
good.
So I'm like, it is possible.
She just has the toys.
I survived a year of her life without screen time. It's possible.
Probably watching, so
That's
go
good.
say hi to her.
Yeah. All right, that is very interesting and very important things that parents must know, especially about screen time, to limit the screen time for the children, to avoid tantrum, or even the children have tantrum. Now parents know what to do to the children to validate the feelings, regulate.
Deal
the
with your own
emotions.
tantrum also,
Exactly.
parents. Before
Parents.
your children tantrum.
All right, thank you so much, Reti. Thank you for your
Reti.
thoughts on
Okay,
everything.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.